Have you ever wondered why some businesses, even those that seem invincible, end up failing spectacularly? It's a question that has puzzled many, from the curious layman to the most seasoned business enthusiasts. The answers, however, are not always in plain sight. Like an iceberg, the bulk of what causes a business to fail is often unseen, submerged beneath the surface of superficial success. Today we're embarking on a journey to explore the unseen iceberg of business failures. This journey is not merely an exercise in schadenfreude, but a necessary lesson for anyone intrigued by the world of business. Understanding the failures of the past can often provide invaluable insights for the future. It's not about dwelling on the negatives, but learning from them. In the upcoming minutes, we'll be recounting the top 10 business failures in history. These are not just random failures, but epic missteps by companies that were once considered titans of their respective industries. Each of these failures provides a unique perspective on the myriad factors that can lead to the downfall of a business. From the 10th biggest fail to the number 1 spot, we'll delve into the intricate details of these business catastrophes. We'll look at what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what could have been done differently. These stories are not meant to be a doom and gloom narrative, but rather a lesson in humility, adaptability, and resilience. As we prepare to dive into the turbulent waters of these epic business missteps, remember this: success may be the goal, but failure is often the greatest teacher. It is through understanding these failures that we can better navigate the uncertain seas of the business world, avoiding the unseen icebergs that have sunk many a corporate ship. So, brace yourself as we dive into the turbulent waters of epic business missteps. It's a journey that promises to be as enlightening as it is intriguing, a deep dive into the complexities of business failures. And who knows, you might just come out on the other side with a renewed perspective on success and failure. In the 10th spot, we have the once mighty video rental company, Blockbuster. A titan of the pre-digital era, Blockbuster was a household name, a go-to Friday night destination for families across America. But as technology evolved, Blockbuster faltered. The company's refusal to adapt to the digital age was its downfall. While consumers were rapidly shifting to online streaming, Blockbuster doubled down on its brick-and-mortar stores. But the real kicker was a missed opportunity that would haunt them forever. In the early 2000s, Blockbuster had the chance to purchase a fledgling company you may have heard of, Netflix. Yes, the same Netflix that now boasts over 200 million subscribers worldwide. Blockbuster, in a move that would become a legendary business blunder, declined the offer. And the rest, as they say, is history. Blockbuster's failure serves as a timeless reminder of the importance of innovation and adaptation. Coming in at number 9, we have the photographic film giants, Kodak. For over a century, Kodak was synonymous with moments captured on film, but their story took a dramatic turn with the advent of the digital age. Here's the kicker: Kodak actually invented the first digital camera in 1975. Yes, you heard that right. The very technology that precipitated their downfall was born within their own labs. But Kodak, entrenched in the profitable film business, was hesitant to cannibalize its own market. This reluctance to adapt and evolve with the changing times ultimately led to their undoing. By the time Kodak realized the potential of digital photography, it was too late. The market had moved on, and Kodak filed for bankruptcy in 2012. Kodak's downfall underscores the need for businesses to embrace rather than fear technological advances. At number 8, we have the beloved toy store Toys R Us. Once a giant in the retail industry, Toys R Us met its end not due to a lack of love from consumers, but from a lethal combination of competition and debt. The store found itself in a losing battle against big box retailers like Walmart and Target, as well as online giant Amazon. These competitors offered lower prices and a broader range of products, leaving Toys R Us struggling to keep up. But that wasn't all. Toys R Us was also grappling with a staggering $5 billion in debt, a result of a leveraged buyout years earlier. This financial burden crippled the company's flexibility and limited its ability to invest in online expansion, a critical misstep in the age of e-commerce. The story of Toys R Us reminds us that even the most cherished brands can't ignore the rise of e-commerce. Landing at number 7 is the disastrous merger of AOL and Time Warner. In the year 2000, these two giants decided to join forces, creating a supposed unbeatable powerhouse in the media industry. But the dream quickly turned into a nightmare. The two companies had contrasting cultures, with AOL's aggressive, internet-driven approach clashing with Time Warner's more traditional, content-focused philosophy. It was a classic case of oil and water, they simply didn't mix. The bursting of the dot-com bubble was the final nail in the coffin. AOL's stock plummeted, and the combined company's value dropped by a staggering $200 billion. The merger became a textbook example of how not to merge companies, with both businesses struggling to recover even years after their separation. The AOL-Time Warner merger teaches us that bigger isn't always better, especially without a clear shared vision. Halfway through our list, at number 6, we find Nokia. Once a titan of the mobile industry, Nokia's story is a tale of missed opportunities. In the early 2000s, Nokia was the world's largest vendor of mobile phones. However, as the industry began to shift towards smartphones, Nokia failed to keep up. Despite having all the resources at its disposal, Nokia was slow to adapt to the smartphone revolution. It clung to its old ways, sticking with its traditional mobile designs and the Symbian operating system, while rivals like Apple and Samsung embraced change and innovation. Nokia's failure to anticipate and respond to the changes in the mobile industry led to its downfall. By the time it realized its mistake, it was too late. The company's market share plummeted, and it was eventually sold to Microsoft in 2013. Nokia's downfall is a stark reminder that market leadership today does not guarantee success tomorrow. In the 5th spot, we have the collapse of Lehman Brothers. A titan of Wall Street, Lehman Brothers was a global financial services firm that had been around for over 150 years. But in 2008, it became the largest casualty of the subprime mortgage crisis that swept across the United States. Lehman Brothers had made risky investments in the housing market, and when the bubble burst, it found itself holding billions of dollars in assets that were virtually worthless. The firm had also leveraged itself to the hilt, borrowing vast sums of money to finance its investments. When the value of these investments plummeted, Lehman Brothers was unable to meet its debt obligations. The result was the largest bankruptcy filing in U.S. history, sending shockwaves throughout the global financial system. Lehman Brothers' collapse underscores the grave consequences of reckless financial practices. Coming in at number 4, we have the infamous Enron scandal. Enron, once a celebrated energy giant, is now synonymous with corporate fraud and corruption. What led to its downfall? The answer lies in a concoction of unethical practices and financial fraud. Enron's executives were found guilty of manipulating the company's financial figures to paint a rosy picture of its health. This practice of cooking the books hid the fact that the company was bleeding money. Enron's auditors, Arthur Andersen, were complicit in this deceit, leading to their downfall as well. As the truth began to unravel, shareholders lost faith, and the company's stock plummeted. In December 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy, wiping out billions in investments and retirement savings. Enron's unscrupulous practices cost thousands their jobs and retirement funds. The scandal shook the business world and brought about a renewed focus on corporate ethics and transparency. Enron's failure serves as a stark warning about the importance of ethics and transparency in business. In the 3rd spot, we have the downfall of Polaroid. Polaroid, the once titan of instant photography, saw its empire crumble. The culprit? An inability to adapt to the digital age. The company that once stood at the pinnacle of the photography world, offering instant gratification in an era of film and development, began to lose its footing as the wave of digital photography swept in. Polaroid, for all its glory, failed to see the digital revolution on the horizon. Instead of riding the wave, they were swept away by it, their iconic instant cameras and film becoming relics of a bygone era. By the time they realized their error, the digital age had firmly taken hold, and Polaroid's attempts to catch up fell flat. Polaroid's downfall was not due to a lack of technology or capability, but rather a lack of foresight and adaptability. Polaroid's failure is a poignant reminder of the need for continuous innovation and adaptation. Coming in at number 2, we have the failure of Webvan. This significant event unfolded at the start of the new millennium, illustrating the risks of overexpansion without a solid and sustainable business model. The late 90s were a period of fervor and excitement, with the internet opening up a whole new world of possibilities. The numerous internet-based companies that emerged during this era was Webvan, an online grocery delivery service. Drawn in by the allure of the digital age, investors poured huge amounts of money into this led to a rapid but unsustainable expansion. Webven, though popular, was unable to turn a profit or generate significant revenue due to its flawed business model and the overhead costs of its aggressive expansion. The company could not sustain its operations and inevitably declared bankruptcy in 2001, leading to a significant loss for its investors. The collapse of Webvan serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of overexpansion without a sustainable business model. And finally, the most significant business downfall of the century, the demise of Sears. A story of an inability to adapt, refusal to compete with digital giants, and insufficient investment, the downfall of Sears was a perfect example of how a retail giant can fall. It was the most significant business failure since the retail revolution. At the heart of this downfall was Sears' inability to adjust to the digital age, a ticking time bomb that many saw coming but few acted upon. Sears kept clinging to traditional retail methods, often failing to meet the demands of the technologically advanced customers who were drawn to online shopping. These customers were then attracted to other online retailers like Amazon. As Sears failed to adapt, so too did their revenue. Their stores started losing customers, causing the company's value to plummet. Meanwhile, Sears, once a titan of retail, found themselves on the brink of collapse. In October 2018 they filed for bankruptcy, sending shockwaves through the retail world. But the fallout wasn't contained to Sears alone. The downfall spread like wildfire, causing millions of employees to lose their jobs. The retail industry was thrown into a severe crisis that took years to recover from. And what of the company's leadership? They were largely asleep at the wheel. Their inability to invest in physical stores and online presence allowed this downfall to happen, with devastating consequences. The downfall exposed severe weaknesses in Sears' business model and led to calls for better adaptation and investment in the retail industry. In the aftermath, Sears was forced to close hundreds of its stores, impacting thousands of employees. The downfall of Sears serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of inability to adapt to the digital era and the importance of investment in online presence. The downfall of Sears serves as a sobering reminder of the devastating consequences of failing to adapt and innovate in the business world. There you have it, the top 10 business fails in history. Each of these stories carries within it a lesson, like the unseen iceberg that sank the Titanic. The fall of Blockbuster and the collapse of Kodak remind us of the importance of adapting to change, lest we become obsolete. The bankruptcy of Toys R Us and the disastrous AOL-Time Warner merger emphasize the importance of prudent risk-taking and thorough due diligence. The downfall of Nokia, the collapse of Lehman Brothers, and the failure of Enron serve as stark reminders of the consequences of unethical practices. The downfall of Polaroid, the dot-com bubble burst, and the 2008 financial crisis highlight the importance of innovation and maintaining a sustainable business model. Remember, in the world of business, failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to success. Learn from these mistakes to chart your own path to success.